Thursday morning, afternoon, or good night, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome, man. Thank you for joining me. I'm getting ready to go down to the White House, as you can see. I'm still in the hotel, praise God. Um, at least the weather breaking, you know? So it's not as brutal as it was earlier with that cold weather. Man, right now, I think what a wise person would do would be to not get distracted by all of the things that they're trying to get your attention with. And cause, I mean, let's face it, rich people are always maneuvering as to how they can increase their profit. That's why they're in business, man, to make money. And if you show them, yeah, I saw where I saw the guy got stabbed, man. And that's something. The guy that invented Cash App got stabbed to death in San Francisco. I saw that. I saw that. That's like, wow. That shows you, man, that life ain't. See, a lot of people take life for granted, man. You know, and this is one of the problems. We got too many people that just take stuff for granted. Like, it's guaranteed, and nothing is guaranteed but death. That's the only guarantee you got. It's death. And imagine, somebody as wealthy as this guy was, and look how he died. He wasn't even surrounded by family. None of his friends was there. That's when, man, when you live a graceful life, it's when your family and friends are surrounding you when you depart this earth. See, I mean, think about that, man. And a lot of folk just go along willy nilly and think nothing can happen to them. I mean, who walks out their door thinking, this is my last day on earth? I'm going to die today. I mean, who walks out their door thinking that? Nobody. You see, because we just take for granted that when we leave out, we coming back. We take that for granted. And you'd be surprised at the number of people that don't even ask for protection or guidance during their day. They just go along like they got it. Again, man, pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention. I told y'all gonna start seeing a lot of stuff, man. This last 9 months of 2023, you're gonna start seeing a lot of stuff. It's just ain't gonna be explainable. And people don't believe that. See, cause this really, as much as they try to make it about a battle about race, man, this is a spiritual battle. This is good versus evil. What we're going through right now is good versus evil. Ain't got nothing to do with race. Ain't got nothing to do with politics. This is good versus evil. And a lot of people missing that. Because they falling for the okie doke. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't say what kind of lifestyle that man was living. You know, I can't say. I don't know. I'm not familiar with him. You know, and who's to say, man? Obviously, uh, 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 hey Tanya, obviously, it's kind of punishing to be good. I mean, when you're trying to be positive, that is not. And maybe this is the door that you know I have to weaken so somebody else can knock it down. You see, and seeing these are some of the things that in life you got to realize. Maybe it's not for you to get through the door, but maybe it's for you to weaken the door so somebody else can get through. Your children or your grandchildren or your great grandchildren. See, that's what this is all about. When you keep trying and trying and trying, I mean, you're building a foundation that those coming behind you can stand on, and they can stand on it securely, and don't have to be afraid and looking over their shoulder. See, this is what we need to be doing, and the people that are suffering the most out of this madness that we're going through are young people. They're the ones that's suffering the most because they have to endure all of this confusion, all of this hate, all of this division. They got to deal with that. They have to process that. They have to live with that. And these are the same young people that's gonna be responsible for us when we old and can't do nothing for ourselves. See, they gonna be the ones that's accountable for us. And look at what we teaching them. Look at how we treating them. You see, and I'm gonna tell you, these young folk now ain't got no problem with biting the hand that's feeding them. That's how little respect that they have. They'll bite the hand that's feeding them in a minute, in a heartbeat. They'll bite the hand that's feeding them. You know, and expect to be forgiven. Expect for you to accept the fact that they'll bite your hand. You see, when you out trying to be the light, be good, do good, you're the one they'll rob. They'll stick you up. And you trying to help. But the joker that ain't doing nothing, ain't creating nothing, they won't mess with him. But the one that's trying to help is the one they gonna target. And for me, I don't understand that mentality. If you got somebody trying to help your community, why the fuck would you go and mess with them? That's your stupid ass. You know? And now you wonder, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. See, if they don't get a grip on this crime in the inner cities, that crime is gonna spread. Cause stores are closing up in the black community. Yeah. No, the founder, he founded Cash App. The guy that founded Cash App got stabbed to death in San Francisco. Now, we know San Francisco is a predominantly gay city. And let's just put this on the table. Okay? San Francisco is the gay capital of America. San Francisco. All right, so let's just start right there. All right, and it could be this is about a lifestyle because um, it could be about a lifestyle. This could be domestic. It could be domestic related. You know, it really could be. It could be because you see when you get up in that kind of money, then you know they'll control the narrative of the story. No, Atlanta is for black folk. Atlanta is the gay capital for black folk. No, that's how Atlanta. That's the gay capital for black. The gay capital for white is San Francisco. Okay, that's the gay capital for white is San Francisco. For the gay capital for blacks is Atlanta. You know, you got more men, black men, on the down low in Atlanta than you can shake a stick at. I mean that's just their lifestyle. I don't understand it. You know, you gonna have to account for that, not me. I could care less. If that's your lifestyle, I don't agree with it, and I don't accept it. Okay. So if that's the way you want to live, have at it, man. Cause when you close your eyes, I ain't got to deal with that. You got to deal with that. So I could care less how you want to live. I'm trying to keep my shit on the right road. Okay? And anybody that want to come along with me, come on. If you don't, then you don't. It's just that simple, man. I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't gonna fight. None of that. I ain't doing none of that. Cause it's too late in the game for all of that. See, if you can't accept the truth, if you don't, you know, somebody talking about congratulations to my fame. Let me ask you a question. How come this fame never hit my pockets? Why I got to be famous on television? How come it never hit my pockets? See, that's the fame I'm looking for. I ain't looking for this fame that just because you recognize me. You know, let me hit my so I can do some stuff and I can help some people. That's the kind of fame I want. You know, I just don't want to be seen on television. Shit, I want to be able to profit from that. And nothing. And see, and this is the problem that I have. Like this little dick white boy down at the White House. Clearly he's mental. See, where that tent sits is in Lafayette Park. And they have very strict rules about what can go on at that tent. And music is not allowed at that tent. And this fool is going and got a boom box, and he sitting at the tent behind me playing music. Now, first of all, the front door of the White House opens up to the North Star. A lot of people don't even know that. 16th Street is the original American Meridian in Washington, D.C. What is that, Truth Conductor? That's a straight north-south line. Okay? You can drive down 16th Street from the front door of the White House all the way up to the Maryland line and feel this is a straight line. Okay, you can feel it. All right? So I sit right in front of the White House, the front door, because that's where the power of that American Meridian is. Right there in front of the front door. Because there are more churches and Masonic temples on 16th Street than anywhere in the world. Let me say that again. See, by 16th Street being the first American Meridian, that's a straight north-south line. There are more churches and Masonic temples on 16th Street than anywhere in the world. Okay? And we ain't but 10 square miles. So that lets you know that it's a lot of churches on 16th Street. All right? More than anywhere in the world. 16th Street got the more churches and Masonic temples because it's the first American Meridian. And see, this is how they do in DC. They ain't gonna do this to you when they see you doing something wrong. See, they gonna let that shit build up. See, they gonna start down. Every time Secret Service, like yesterday, one of the officers came over and said, look, man, if I hear you playing this gunshots over here again, you gonna have a problem. And he talking about, well, this is a soundtrack. He said, I don't care what it is. Folk might not know that. But that's like yelling fire in a theater, what you're doing. And see, and they gonna let that stuff build up because that officer gonna have to report his exchange. You see, and they just gonna let them violations build. And when they gonna come to renew to renew their permit, oh, wait a minute. Let's talk about these violations that you got here. See, and they've been there 40 years. They don't want them there anyway. And this fool act like he ain't conscious of that. And when I go down there, I'm gonna tell Filippo, if y'all get kicked out of here, I'm gonna blame you. Cause you know that ain't no music supposed to be here. And this dude done took it personal. Tell me I'm begging for money playing national anthems. Like, I can't use my creativity. I mean, just like, because I thought of an idea that ain't nobody done. Nobody has started the idea. Man, go sit in front of the White House and play other folks' national anthem. Since they coming to visit, why don't you play their national anthem and welcome them? That's just my little out-of-the-box thinking. And I'm begging. And I got YouTube Premium. I got Apple Music. I pay for that. And they sit there. Man, I can show you. Yesterday, I had 2 or 3 different schools dancing together in front of the White House. And maybe 1 or 2 people came over and say, and thank you. You know, and see, and we don't have an appreciation for something positive. You'd be surprised at the number of people that want to get something for nothing. That I mean, they just want to have it their way. Anyway, oh man, it's almost 12. Let me get. I'm headed to the White House. I want to make down there again. You know, and see who I can touch, man. See who I can inspire. Something's gonna have to give. And the only thing I can do is keep trying. That's all I can do, is just keep trying. I ain't washed my car today. I had to get up this morning and wash my car. And I'm glad I did, because I looked at one of my tires and I was like, damn, I need to get a new tire. I didn't know my tire was this bad. I didn't know it was that bad, but damn. You know, I'm because it's getting ready to get hot now. And I can't get on the road and have that thing blow out on me, man. It's like, wow. Okay. 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 It shouldn't be this hard being positive. shouldn't be this hard trying to. And see, I keep telling folk, man, there's a strong undercurrent of anti-black, you know, and it's disguised as woke. That's anti-black. And anything that is going where black people will be put up front. A lot of folk ain't with that. I mean, look at how they did the. Ain't never before, man. You ain't never invited two teams before to the White House, but you have a black team beat a white team. Now you need to invite both, and you ain't never done that before. Why is that? Why does the losing team from Iowa, which is predominantly white, they lost? Why they got to be invited to the White House as well? I mean, think about that, y'all. Why they lost, but they getting the same privileges as the winner? Why is that? Because it's anti-woke, man. And that's anti-black. And there are people that agree with me, but don't want to see me succeed financially from a positive idea. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to be independent, to come up and think on my own, to come up with a solution that could probably change my life forever. And I got one guy on here talking about the reason marketers haven't content because they don't see ain't no profit in unity. I mean, think about that, man. I'm trying to unite people. And look at me, I'm living out of a hotel. And I can divide people and be in a mansion right now. Dividing people. Getting people to hate each other. Getting people to fight each other. I could have a whole fleet of trucks right now doing that. But I can't come out here and get the same success trying to do it the right way, trying to unite people. I can't be successful doing that, man. The only way I can be successful, shit, I got to do something. I got to go to the dark side just to be successful. I can't be successful on the light side. I can't be successful doing it right. And you know, and here's the sad part. If I would drop dead today, then everybody, oh, true conductor. I remember when he did this and I did that and he would see, now I'm gonna get all of these accolades. But while I'm living, I get my ass kicked. And people sit back and watch me get my ass kicked. You know, and won't lift one finger. I'm serious. And this is something we're gonna have to change, man. And you think these young kids ain't watching this? You think they ain't tried to be positive and then got smacked down to the ground and kicked around and laughed at and accused of running a scam? How do I run a scam, man, trying to unite people? Trying to say stop hating each other because you do. See, people are so hung up on this race and politics. They ain't looking at the people in divorce court, probate court, or child support court. They ain't looking at none of them. See, them three courts right there, from the very wealthy to the very poor, you got people fighting each other, hating each other. And them three courts alone, and then you pour some race and politics on top of that, man, you got a lethal explosion. See, we ain't dealing with the little bitty things that's dividing us. Because you got, see, listen, y'all. There's good and bad in everything. Let me say that again. There's good and there's bad in everything. People talking about I don't hate, you're lying through your teeth. You're a liar. Because you got hate in you. You got hate in you. And if you're a hateful person, you got some good in you. That's the law of the land, man. That's just the law of the land. In good, there's a little evil, and evil, there's a little good. That's just the way it works. So when somebody say, I don't hate, you're lying. You do hate. You do hate. You just trying to get somebody to drop their guard. See, and them the ones you need to pay. Listen to me, y'all. The one that's always throwing Jesus in your face, talking about what Jesus would do, and that one talking about they don't hate, them the ones you keep your eyes on. Okay? Them the ones you're going to have to filter their conversation. See, because they'll have some half-truth in there when they be talking to you. And if you don't know, you'll miss it. See, that's the first thing, man. Somebody walk up to you talking about Jesus. Man, can you imagine? The same people talking about Jesus scared to speak to each other. Let me say that again. Some of the same people sitting back talking about Jesus and what Jesus would do, scared to speak to each other. Got family that won't even speak to them. But they can come out and tell you what Jesus would do. See, and these are the flim-flams, man, that we've been falling for. That's keeping us in bondage, keeping us divided, and keeping us not trusting each other. See, this is what we got to get back to. We got to be able to start trusting each other. Because we don't, man, I sit right in front of the police, in front of the White House. You know how many people scared to speak to me? And I tell them, man, I'm in front of the police. What you scared of? I'm sitting right in front of the police. And you're still scared. What does that say, man? About the conditions that we have allowed ourselves to stoop to. When you can sit in front of the police and people still scared of you. They scared in front of the police, man. That's how bad we've become. And I'm sitting there trying to be positive. And you scared. You see my message, stop hating each other because you disagree. And I said, where you from? And they walk, no, I'm okay. And you know, I'm like, wow, man. And I tell them, hey, if you think somebody's down here doing this, that's Secret Service. They'll tell you. That's the police. If you think I'm lying, if you think what I'm telling you is not true, that's the police. They'll tell you. They'll tell you if I'm lying or not. And I said, if you think I'm a threat, you think Secret Service gonna let me sit here if I was a threat? I mean, seriously, you think they're gonna let me sit here? No. You got to go, Joe. You got to get out of here. All right? So listen, y'all. Let me get down here. I'll see y'all a little bit later.